Hey guys, how's it going? Today I've been thinking a lot about how things are supposed to be, how things should be versus how they shouldn't be. And I think there's kind of two categories for this. The first category is kind of a larger picture. Um, if life was perfect, if there was no evil and there was no darkness, there was no sin, how would life be? What would it look like? That's a should. That's a supposed to be. And then there's a supposed to be that kind of operates within the world as we know it. How things are supposed to be in a world that's filled with darkness, but also in a world that's filled with hope. So I had to stop my last recording. I had a meeting to run to, so excuse the unedited cuts here, but we're just gonna pick up where we left off. So it's talking about how things are supposed to be, and kind of the two categories for that. And I've really been thinking about how this applies to our foster baby, because when we went to see him in the hospital the other day, on the board, it said my parents are, and it said his real parents' name. We talked with the social worker, and he shared that they haven't been visiting him and they can't get in contact with him. I think I was overcome with a lot of sadness because this little baby, his heart was made to be loved by his real parents. That's what should be happening in a perfect world. That's what he's made for. That's how it's supposed to be. But that's not the world that we live in. Obviously, it's not a perfect world. I don't have to try to convince you that it is. And I think I've really been struggling with that sadness because now I'm learning to love a baby that in a perfect world was never supposed to be mine. Now we're gonna take a turn down the other trail, and the reality is, in this world, whether you call it fate or destiny or God's plan for your life, however you see it, this foster baby apparently was supposed to come to us. Now he is supposed to be my foster son. There's a lot of joy in that, and there's a lot of excitement in that, a lot of fear as well, a lot of wondering, a lot of questions. But that is now how things are supposed to be. That's the new plan for my life. The meeting I had to go to was with a group of guys, and one of the guys there, he's a paramedic. He runs a ministry to incarcerated youth, actually, in the area. And as I was sharing with him kind of these same thoughts, he reminded me that he was adopted when he was young. When he was really young, like a baby. And he said, Garrett, you don't know how much of a blessing you are for that baby. If it weren't for my parents, his adopted parents, loving me as their own son, chances are I would have ended up like the youth that I'm now ministering to. You just don't know how much good you're going to do in that baby's life. And I don't know, it definitely got to me. It definitely kind of shifted how I was seeing this. So I've been having a hard time connecting with this baby as a son and me as dad, because it doesn't feel like he's mine. You know, he's not mine. He's somebody else's baby. But at the same time, now he is. The state has mandated, you know, emergency placement with my wife and I. So he is my baby. But after speaking with my friend, understanding that love and fatherhood and parenting, whether it's a biological son or a foster son, is still a choice. There's still a choice to do it well. And there's a lot of goodness and a lot of life and a lot of holiness that flows out of that choice. And that's been helpful. It's been helpful for me to have that shift in thinking that my friend offered. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Talk to you guys in a couple days. Finally had it figured out. Right off the top of my head,